Nigel Seeley joins us now for a quick chat about Manchester United's record revenue rise and what they could plan to do with all that cash. Now, Manchester United have announced record first quarter revenues of £123.6 million, up 39.3% from the £88.7 million from the same period last year. Now, this is down largely to their new £750 million 10-year kit deal with Adidas and the return to the Champions League. Is this good news for Manchester United fans?
It's going to be massive news for Manchester. It's fantastic news as well. I mean, what a great deal. Lots of money. The rich get richer in the Premier League, don't they? Manchester United is certainly one of those sides. They have to spend money. They've already spent an awful lot of money already, and they've still got these fantastic profits. I think it's great news for them. Manchester United is not only good for the Premier League, it's good for English football. We want to see Man United playing the Champions League. We want to see them challenging for titles. And I think they will, and I think they will for the next 10 years. This is massive news for us, and it's a big danger for other teams in the Premier League. And it's going to be very interesting to see what develops at Old Trafford over the next few months. Some new faces coming in, and I think it's exciting times for everyone involved in Man United club.
Yeah. Well, the Devils are priced 8.5 at Coral to win the Premier League, 1.57 at William Hill to win Group B in the Champions League, and a longer 26 at Bet365 to win the Champions League. Will some of that money be put to good use and spent on maybe some key signings come January?
I think they have to. I mean, they're desperate. They're desperate for a centre-half, in my opinion. And they're desperate for massively need a centre forward. I mean, we've seen the problems with Wayne Rooney. We've seen the problems with Martial. Depay hasn't really delivered. I mean, he doesn't look the same player as he was in Holland. He looks as though he's come to England and he's just enjoying the lifestyle rather than the actual football. They have to sign some big players. They need a centre forward. That's the main area. And I think another defender. And if they can get maybe two in key areas like that, midfield, I think they're okay. If they get two players like that, they could be a real force in the Premier League because they're very young. They're not playing well and they're only 3 points behind the top two. Once they get in their stride, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Who do you think could likely join? You mentioned sort of these positions obviously are needed. Are there any names that we could see join the Man United squad? Well,
it's quite interesting to hear. I mean, there's been a Twitter rumour in the UK over the last 24 hours. And since this report come out, that Manchester United are going to make a bid for Alexis Sanchez from Arsenal. I can't see that happening. I think Alexis Sanchez would just demand have to be a world record bid to get him from Arsenal. He's got a long contract, but if any club can produce it, it's Manchester United. One player who I certainly think will be a Man United player, whether it's not this summer, but I think he will come across, is Gareth Bale. I think Gareth Bale will go in. I think he'd be brilliant. I think he'll come and make a return to the Premier League, and Man United would be a perfect fit for him. They need a striker. You know, that's the thing here. Does he pay for someone in the Premier League? Does he go look outside the Premier League? It's a big risk to take some Dutch players into the Premier League at this stage of the season. One man I think may be a target, and I think he'll do well for Manchester United as well, is Graziano Pella from Southampton. He's scoring goals in the Premier League, an unfashionable club. He scored goals in the last 2 seasons. He's an Italian international centre forward now. He's leading the line for the Azzurri. I think he may be a sort of surprise candidate to go to Old Trafford, but they need a striker. With Neymar. Neymar's a name I've heard as well. Yeah. Alexis Sanchez. But I think Graziano Pella could be one that they might go move for in January at a big price. We know Southampton do sell their better players. And I think not this transfer window, but next summer, I think Gareth Bale might be number one on Man United's shopping list.
All right, fantastic. Let's just say, though, they get those key signings. This is, argument's sake, they get those key signings. What is the chance or the possibility of them either winning the Premier League or the Champions League? Should we put a little money on it just in case they really do put that money to good use?
Well, I do like them in the Premier League. Like I say, I think they haven't been. The jury's still out whether they're a good side or not. And they're only 3 points behind Manchester City and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal's starting to stutter. They've got problems. They're losing players. I think Man United could do it. Each way for the Premier League for me. Champions League, just not yet.
All right, fantastic. Nigel Seeley, thank you for joining us today.